I'm looking at some of you guys on the verge of a breakthrough. In alchemy, the yellowing is referred to a stage that people enter into of where they change their external influences to internal influences. This is also activating the solar light or the solar body. So we learn to not look out into the world from governments or institutions for information, but you begin to start developing that inside of you. The yellowing, this is coming in reverse. So some of you guys have got things going on inside the body that we want to start paying attention to. So some of you guys need to do a parasite detox. Write this down. There's an herb called bladderwhack. Bladderwhack is a diuretic. It helps get the water out of your body. So a lot of you guys are retaining too much water. So we want to be taking bladderwhack. All of you guys should be on bladderwhack. We go through periods of using it. So it pushes and flushes the body out. And then we want to begin to drink more water to begin to push toxins out of the body. It begins to push any type of bacteria out of the body. So make sure you guys are flushing your systems. We're moving forward. I'm looking at some situation in the future. This is how you should be showing up in your life, in your relationships. This is coming in upside down. So I'm looking at an inversion of the Great Mother. So we want to be cultivating a new understanding of what nurturing is. All of us, male, female, both. All of you guys have the mother inside of you. All of you guys have the father inside of you. So what we learn to do is we learn to cultivate that inner mother, and we begin to show it in our life using different forms of care, compassion, gratitude. So I'm looking at an inner cultivation of some emotions, a new emotional connection that you haven't been using. Right around the corner, I'm looking at you having to make a blind decision. I'm looking at you having options, going in two directions. In the past, it looks like your options were limited. So I'm looking at the path clearing for you going forward. For some of you guys, I'm looking at you guys buying furniture. Look at some of you guys getting a new chair, getting a new couch, buying some type of home decor for your house. Right? It's important that you guys decorate your house, that you guys feel comfortable in your space, that you feel safe in your space. So if you guys have bare walls, man, you guys got to decorate that stuff. You guys got to put stuff up that makes you feel good, things like a vision board. We want to treat your entire reality as one big giant vision board. So the things that you have up on the walls around you should be things that you either want to become or that you celebrate. So when we get to that stage where everything around you is comfortable, it feels good, it allows you to feel safe and secure in your 3D space. And we learn to ascend the throne. I'm looking at roses. Roses are going to be significant for you coming up. So if you guys are going to get someone flowers or get flowers from someone, make sure that we're taking the time to look up the symbology of the rose. So if it's a white rose, what does that mean? What is the spiritual meaning of a red rose? So we want to begin to look that up and see everything that happens in your daily life as symbolic, because it is. Right, so some of you guys are going to be going through a death right up ahead. Here's sirens outside. There's sirens going off. Right, so some of you guys, this is a inner transformation, right? Not a physical death. Right, this is where inside of you begin to ask deeper questions. You feel differently. You begin to want to change the way you look, the way you talk, the way you act, the way you live your life on a day-to-day operation. There's a transformation that's going to take place in your life this year. And look at the number 5 is popping up. Number 5 represents loss and conflict. This is coming in the past. So maybe you guys, this last year, you guys went through some loss and conflict. I'm looking at this year going to be different. We're in the future again. I'm looking at temperance. Learning to balance and harmonize your life. Learning to balance all the elements that make up your existence. Your work life, with your home life, with your creative space, with the way that you cook, the way you walk, the way you experience life, the fun things that you do. All right, so we have to have a full balance of everything in our life that helps you grow instead of takes you backwards down the path of degradation. So temperance is needed in every area of our life. So we learn to balance and harmonize every aspect of our life. I'm looking at new understandings of temperance and balance are going to be popping up for you. I'm looking at a shift. I'm looking at a shift from red to blue. Red shift, blue shift. This is the entire color spectrum. So I'm looking at a shift taking place from red to blue in your life. So this is the root chakra. This is the crown chakra, the upper three chakras. This is the heavenly realms. This is the hellish realms. We must all descend into hell to understand yourself on a deeper psychological and emotional level. All of you guys, you cannot know heaven if you've never been to hell, right? So to be thankful and grateful and to celebrate every day of our existence, we must go through those times of separation, lies, confusion, deceit, so that we know on the other side, we know how grateful we are for when we have beautiful things in our life that are the opposite of that spectrum. So I'm looking at a shift taking place. It feels calm. It feels like things were really chaotic. I'm looking at one thing happening after another that was bad. So maybe you're coming out of a stage where things were really chaotic, and I'm looking at you learning through the situation so that in the future when we build, you take care of your manifestations. We tend to our manifestations. So let's say you guys manifest a family. So it's important that we learn to balance that family out. I'm looking at right around the corner, I'm looking at more ideas and understandings of authenticity popping up for you. We get to a point where we have to ask, who am I? What am I? What is my authentic self? Do I feel like my authentic self? Do I express myself authentically? Who are you? When we sit down and start asking yourself questions like that, it opens up a whole new understanding of who you are and what you want to be. You can't get to a place where you become something unless you know where we're at right now, right? So you have to know who you are in the moment in order to transcend and to make it to the next level. I'm looking at the judgment cards popping up. There's some decisions that need to be made. I'm looking at transformation. Some of you guys probably feel like you've been walking through life your whole life. You've been asleep, right? So I'm looking at this year is going to be an awakening, right? So maybe you've been in a routine or a mundane experience, feeling separated, feeling stuck in life, right? So I'm looking at your guides, your higher self, blasting that horn, waking you, shaking you at your very core. Right? So I'm looking at an awakening taking place. We're going forward. I'm in the 9 in the current moment. The 9 speaks on ending of cycles. So I'm looking at one cycle ending, and it's in the current moment. Some of you guys are going through things that are starting to break apart, or you're starting to feel like you want to change different things in your life. I see this a lot of times when people are on the precipice of a new life. So some of you guys are closing out an old life, entering into a new version of reality, a new version of yourself. Congratulations. All right, guys, I'm going to leave the reading there, man. If you guys like the reading and you want to book a personal session, you guys can look down in the comments section or the link up in my bio. It's going to have my number, my website. If you guys want to shoot me a message, I'll answer it back as soon as I can. Have a beautiful day.